Green echoes from the valley, telling the African story.
I would not pray for anybody, to go through what I went through. It's not even him sleeping with me that, haunts me. The thought of a man, pouring his sperm in your mouth and you drinking his urine. You can't even drink your own urine. You can barely, as a human being, you can't drink your own urine because you feel irritated, not to talk of somebody else's urine. So it's a nightmare. It's still a nightmare, because it has affected so many areas of my life. There are times whereby I don't even want people to be around me. I just want to be on my own. I just cut off from everybody. I felt if my auntie had listened to me, if she has given me little attention as a child, all of those things that was happening constantly would not have happened. I've become so strong, that things don't move me anymore, because it made me to be a very hard person. Nothing moves me again, because there's nothing you will say that I have not seen. I have seen the worst. So things hardly move me because I have gone through it.
Rape, one of the worst social crimes against humanity, has been on the increase in recent times, attributable to a number of factors but non-justifiable.
I don't know what he was gaining, doing that. I never understood, even up to today. I don't know what he gained, from doing that. Of course, he was mentally okay upstairs, but I don't know what he was gaining.
It is estimated that approximately 35% of women worldwide have experienced sexual harassment in their lifetime.
There was no room to talk to anybody. I can't count as a child whether it was weekly, daily, but he was doing it.
I'm Deborah Live Alegbeni, the Acting State Coordinator for Queens, FCT. Queens is Christian Women for Excellence and Empowerment in the Nigerian society. That we call it Queens, as in CWEENS. We have presence in about 12 states in the Federation, including the FCT. Our vision is to form a formidable force for women to come together for transformation and development in Nigerian society.
Women within ages 16 to 19 are 4 times more likely to be victims of rape or sexual assault, while college students aged 18 to 24 are 3 times more likely to experience sexual assault.
We have a girl child of a 12-year-old that was raped, and in the process of the rape, she contracted STD, and we had to take her for medical health care and put her in the safe space and get the perpetrator responsible. The guy is still in the detention right now under the FCT command. More so, we have the other one who was pregnant, a child marriage. The father married out a 17-year-old girl that's supposed to be rounding up in the secondary school, married her to a Muslim, a Malam, and collected a dowry of 40,000 naira. And this guy got this girl pregnated. After getting pregnant, he's now looking for another woman to marry, and drove her out and said that he wants to marry another woman. This girl had nowhere to go. She went back to the parents, to the father. The father said go back to him, that because he has collected a dowry of 40,000 naira. He said he should go back to him. The mother is speechless. She does not know what to do because she's not empowered. She don't know what to do. She will soon be due for delivery, and by the grace of God, we believe God that she will deliver safe well. She's very okay. The pregnancy is growing, and she will get empowered, and we will see all that God will help us to do with her.
Green echoes from the valley, telling the African story.
While people mostly hear about rape and sexual assault against women, men around the world also experience sexual harassment, assault, and rape every day.
The fight against GBV is everybody's business. Whether you are a man, you are a woman, gender-based violence is violence against a person based on the person's gender. We've seen men that have been abused. We've had issues of men that have been abused by women. One of the community we went to, there's a woman that we heard of a woman that is abusing the man, almost killing the man. So we've seen, but it's just that why are we addressing, why are we saying it, violence against women and girls is because they are the most vulnerable.
In most countries with data available on rape, less than 40% of women who experience sexual violence seek help. Less than 10% seek assistance from law enforcement and other organizations established to handle issues of rape and gender-based violence, especially when the culprit is a family member.
We've had incidences of the father raped a child, the daughter, and now the daughter, the man, the thing came to the open space, to the air. It is being known, and the man was detained. The father of the child, and this is a small child, a child of 8-year-old. The father was detained. Now the law they want to make sure that the law is being acted upon. The wife is crying now too, crying, please, people should leave my husband. He's the father of the house. He's the breadwinner. That they should not allow him to go to jail. Now the wife is pleading. You can see, what will you do? You just have to let go, because you act according to. But the thing is that such situation, you will let the woman know that we are here to protect this child. We are here to protect this child. Yes, the two of you are the parent of this child, but this child needs to be protected, and this child is to be taken away from their custody. Whether to a safe space, whether to a shelter, or to a family, to someone who can take care of this baby well. Maybe a family member that can take care of this baby well. Because it will not be good for this child to be living in that place together with his parents. Yes, they are the parent, but this child has a life to live. So the man has been released now, but this child needs to be protected under the Child's Right Act.
Ironically, rather than speak out against sexual offenders, silence is used as a protective mechanism for victims. While silence is judged by some as a form of consent, can it be criminalized?
Sometimes it is difficult. In a family where the family of 6 children, and one of the child is being abused by the father, and now it has come to the public space. Now the man has been the man has been detained, and the woman now is crying out that they should not go to jail. And you now go, yes, she's an accomplice. We arrest her, we detain her. Where do we keep the 5 children? What will the government? Do we have the government that will take care of these children? Who will take care of these children? Which organization? Most of organizations they're just surviving by maybe a grant for a project, a particular project, and all of that. Where do we keep these 5 children? The only thing is, in the area of this family issue where you see the father abusing the daughter, and we've seen areas where the man has been held accountable and has gone for it, wherein the woman too accepted that yes, whatever happened, let him go for it. That is a good one. That's why women too need to be. That's why we need to let them know through what? Sensitization and awareness, to make sure that they allow the law to play its parts just to rescue the destiny of their children.
Echoes from the Valley, telling the African story.
The issue of rape and other gender-based violence is sensitive, and the assumed end of speaking out comes with a lot of pessimism, especially for vulnerable women and their children.
And women have to be empowered. Like in this case, it's because the woman is not empowered. She's not empowered. She believes that stuff. How am I going to send these children to school if this man is not there? But if she's empowered, she will see that because any issue of rape against a child is a criminal case. The case of rape is criminal. It's a criminal case against that child. Any form of abuse against a child, even against, all this, it is against the right. It's a human right issue. It's against the right of the person.
Taking cognizance of some of these challenges, organizations like Queens have taken proactive measures for the rehabilitation of victims who manage to open up.
For as long as you're a woman or you're a girl and maybe you've been abused, you faced rape, you faced violence, you need help, we reach out to them. We don't place, okay, oh, this person had to be a Christian or this person had to be a Muslim. No, we reach out to the Nigerian women and the Nigerian girls. We reach out to everybody. So when we know that this person really needs a safe space, this person needs to be put somewhere against the violence and the attacks, we get that person into our safe house. We take care of them. We provide succor, we provide the necessary help that is needed. We provide rehabilitation, psychosocial support, psychotherapy, and all of that, counseling and care to make sure they become whom God wants them to be.
Echoes from the Valley, telling the African story.
Africans are great people.
I am proud of Africa.
Africa has a splendid beauty that has to be experienced.
The world cannot do without Africa.
We have got to tell our story.
Echoes from the Valley, telling the African story.
The 12-year-old was raped in January, was brought to us.
January when?
January 19th or so, I think.
This
year, 2021. And was brought into our safe house last month, March. I think, is it the second week of March, precisely. And we assessed her, we saw that she has STD. After when our psychologist had listened to her, he heard all her story, heard the story from her, the mother. She has a mother, she does not have a father. So she has her mother. Her mother is a woman with 2 children. She's the youngest, I think a boy and a girl. And the psychologist interviewed them separately, interviewed the mother and also counseled the mother, heard the story of the girl and also counseled her. And we discovered that she needs medical help urgently because she has sexually transmitted disease. And so we had to call on the health facility to come and give that intervention. The AMAC Primary Health Care Center, we're in collaboration with them. By the grace of God, we got that medical help for that girl. And she was being taken care of and taken into a safe space so that the perpetrator can be nabbed, can be gotten. When we went to the DP of the community, of the area command of where the community where they are living, the DPO said, wow, this issue has not come to my table, but since you have mentioned it, I'm going to take action. And he swung into action immediately and made sure that the perpetrator was arrested. He's still in detention.
Without professional counsel and rehabilitation, most rape victims struggle with brokenness for the better part of their lives, only seeking and finding relief either in suicide, legal justice, or reprisal on the culprit.
When a survivor comes in, that person has been traumatized. You have to give trauma counseling. You have to give counseling to let them know that it is not their fault, whatever happened. You have to give them counseling to forgive whoever has abused them, whoever has traumatized, has brought this trauma, whoever has brought this to them. They have to forgive. Now God is healing them. They are forgetting their pains and their troubles. The other one said, I wouldn't forget, I don't want that. My father has done me this. He married me out. He married me out. And so I'm bitter against him. But we had to let her know You have to forgive your father. Forgiveness is key. We promise her we're not going to hand you over to your father. You have this baby, we'll provide a safe space. If it is to get you to get an accommodation for you to live, and we will do that.
While many countries have laws against the act of sexual assault and violence, many of them are insufficient, inconsistent, and not systematically enforced.
The Violence Against Persons and law, it's there, Child Rights Act. These are laws that is on ground in the Federal Republic of Nigeria that need to be implemented. Some states have domesticated it, some have not domesticated it, but FCT have domesticated it. So is the implementation. Also in the political terrain, women's voices need to be heard. Women participation. Women have to be there when laws are being put together. Women need to, their voice need to be heard. So that they need to, because they are the one that is being worst hit in every situation. So women's presence need to be there in the political space and all of that so that they can speak for the women and girls.
Green echoes from the valley, telling the African story.
Rape is a global problem with a pervasive impact on societies. With a chilling number of yearly reported cases and a suspected higher number of unreported cases, how can this menace be curbed?
They should make sure that they speak out. They raise alarm. We went to schools, we went to go and tell the children, it's time to speak out. If you are being abused, speak out. Confide in your guardian and counselor. Speak out. Now when they speak out, because if you don't cry out for help, you can't receive help. You will receive help of counseling. You will receive psychosocial support, psychotherapy. Because these people have been emotionally brutalized, emotionally wounded. So they can receive that help. If there is need for medical intervention, you can get it. Because in the process of rape, in the process of sexual violence and all that against women and girls, most times they contract infections. And these infections can make them vulnerable to death. So they can have medical help. Now, they can also have, if there is need to get that person out of that environment, that person can be taken out of that environment to a place that is safe for that person to come out of that and come back to normal and regain themselves. Like I said, receiving first aid treatment in the area of medical, in the area of psychotherapy and all of that. So these are the process of healing. Awareness needs to go all over the place. Awareness against rape. Knowledge against rape, people should know. Parents need to take action. Men who are abusing their children, they need to stop that. We don't know for whichever reason they are doing that, but that needs to be stopped. Parents that are too busy to look after their children, to put eyes on their children, they need to get this awareness that these children, yes, you gave birth to them, they have rights to live, they have rights to become what God wants them to be. These children need to be looked after. To get best result, education is very, just awareness and sensitization. Advocacy to leaders, to community leaders, because if we don't punish perpetrators, we will not be able to fight this issue. We will not be able to end GBV or even reduce or eradicate it, whichever way. Perpetrators need to be shamed, need to be named, need to be shamed, need to be dealt with, they need to be held accountable. And the government should stand up to this. Our lawmakers, please let them pass the right bill.
The establishment of legislations are essential in the fight against rape and domestic violence. However, research shows that many of the countries with high rape statistics need to look beyond just legislation to fix the problem. Affected countries should also look into cultures and social norms that promote sexual violence.
When you educate a woman, when you make a woman better, you have educated a nation, because she's the one to give birth to other generations. So let us protect women and girls. Let there be safety for women and girls. Let there be protection for them. Let there be protection on the streets, in the community where they live. Let them be safe. Let women and girls be safe in the society. And we have a better society.
Green echoes from the valley, telling the African story.